Hey, it's me, Brianka J, and today I'm going to talk to you about A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khaled Housseni. A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khaled Housseni is a very interesting work, and I want to discuss just an overall summation before we do an analysis, which will be in our next video. So, three things I'm going to talk about today. What's the most interesting things about this work, the prominent devices that's used in the work and for what purpose, and finally the central ideas you will find as you read. So, very first thing is, what is interesting about A Thousand Splendid Suns? Why should you even read it? A Thousand Splendid Suns by Khaled Housseni is actually incredibly interesting. It explores the lives of two teenage girls, Mariam and Layla, as they embark on womanhood while being under the oppressive control of varying military regimes from 1960 to 1990 in Afghanistan. The text was interesting and compelling as it allowed me to apply a socio-cultural lens that asked me to examine the literature from historical, political, and even gender-based viewpoints. By doing so, I was able to connect and explore the cultures of Afghanistani women, the history and cultural aspects, the country, the effects of patriarchal control, and the issues of sexuality, and the marginalization of disempowered groups. So, very heavy book, but still very, very entertaining. Some of the prominent devices in the text its first and most impactful is his use of the dual narrative, of course. Housseni divides the book into three critical pieces. Part one focuses solely on Mariam, and she gives us a country or rural viewpoint of Afghanistan. Part two focuses on Layla. She gives us a more modern viewpoint and the hopes of Afghanistan. And then part three converges the two narratives into one, and we see how these battle and turn of change of events play out in the work. It also reminds us that all people are not the same. That two women, even though living in the same neighborhood, can have very different outlooks on the world around them. The second device Housseni employs regularly is his use of imagery and sensory language. One is entrenched in the violence and conflict because the story vividly explores the scene's setting, smells, sounds, and feelings as the character experiences it, giving us a greater understanding of exactly what happens and putting the reader in its frame of mind of being there and witnessing the events for himself. Now, some of the central ideas in the work, well, it asks us to reflect on power, how it is to be utilized amongst humanity in a responsible way. Set in Afghanistan, readers witness the emotional and physical connection characters share with their home country. Despite the escalation of war, some refuse to leave, some return in the midst of their dangers. All, though, must learn to navigate under an abusive and controlling authority, whether it be an oppressive government, husband, or a military official. However, other themes do reveal themselves. Love is the big one, and freedom. These both appear throughout. Love helps to redeem many of the characters. Mariam's love for Layla, Layla's love for her children, the children's love for Mariam. This love is a source of freedom and hope for all. When you read the work, I hope that you find it just as enjoyable as I have, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of Book Talk. You can find me here every Friday. I'll be posting new videos. Next week, there'll be an analysis of Things Fall Apart, A Thousand Splendid Suns, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see you next Friday.